Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Psych Legal Pop podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about popular culture through the lens of an attorney and a therapist. My name is Brooke Brigham. I'm the attorney.
And I'm Tess Brigham. I'm the therapist.
And we are back today to talk about polyfamily. This is quite a show.
It is.
This is sweeping the nation with rumors. This is season 1.
Yes.
Episode 3. Only episode 3. Feels like it's been a lifetime that we've known these people.
Yes.
This episode is called Who's Your Daddy? And we realized that is a very important question in this show.
Yes.
They're obsessed with. They claim they don't care about it at all. They don't care about paternity. It doesn't matter at all. But so far, that's all we've talked about.
Yeah. Well, and you turned me on to their TikTok channel. So it's
polyfamily.
Polyfamily.
Yes.
Which is an interesting way of saying it. Do you know what I mean? It's just, is that like I don't know.
Is it family and polyamory together?
But why not polyfamily? Why not say it was that?
Maybe someone already took that. I don't know.
Well, but they couldn't have. It's TLC took it after the fact. I mean, isn't this how TLC found them? Anyway, it's a stupid name, polyfamily.
Yeah.
So anyway, I saw a video of the 4 of them and they're singing along in one of those videos with the kids in their hands with like that Lizzo song. I just took a DNA test and found out, right? And so there's, I just took it. They're mouthing the words and then they come back and be like, I just found out, none of your business. It's like, what? What do you mean?
This is all you've
been talking about. And the other thing too is, if this DNA thing isn't a big deal to you and it isn't, then why are you doing videos? And here's the thing about that channel. Taya is sitting around looking at what everybody else is doing, what trends are, what are popular music, what's going to get me farther, blah, 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 right? And then basically rounding these people up to do it.
Yeah, and you know what? They don't even bother to like brush their hair or try to look cute. No, I'm serious.
Yeah, well, all those kids.
Most TikTokers, it's a visual medium, okay?
Mm-hmm.
They look like slobs, they look terrible. And they do these stupid videos and it is so, these people, they really just get under my skin. And if you don't know what we're talking about, if you're just randomly tuning in here, this new show, PolyFamily, is about a closed quad. Basically, it was 2 married couples who were into swinging and they met each other, I think, through swinging. One of the Tyler, who is from the Tyler and Alicia couple, and Taya from the Sean and Taya couple, I think they really gravitated towards each other, really liked each other. Somehow, Sean and Taya moved from Portland 2 hours away to this town, Lebanon, Oregon, to live with Tyler and Alicia, who already had 2 children, young children. And then this is their big thing. They swap wives every night. And so they don't know who they now have 3 more children and they don't know. Well, they now know 1, but, they started out the show saying, we don't know the paternity of any of our younger kids and we don't want to know because we're all just one big poly family and we're so happy. Yet they talk about paternity constantly all the time. And in the last episode, it came out inadvertently, quote unquote, due to blood type matching, that Tyler is the father to the baby who was just recently born, the youngest baby.
Okay.
And Sean's pissed about it.
Yes. So before we go into the episode, we got to talk about a few things. Because I did see one person, again, these are all just the things we're seeing on the internet. This is nothing to be, these are not facts.
This is all allegedly.
One person said that it is possible for 2 people with
B type
to have an O negative child. Someone sort of was disputing that. So let's put that aside. But this is what I love about people who get on these shows. This belief that somehow in the world that we live in today that nothing's going to come out about you is so naive. And I really think that anybody who is today naive about it, like, shame on you. You have no excuses, zero excuses. So then it makes me wonder about how, because all of this stuff is coming out. So Sean, these are all the alleged rumors. So Sean apparently had been married 3-4 times. Hold on. I got to find the proper Reddit thread. But he has been, he already has 5 children that he has dumped.
Yeah. Pays no child support. He left, abandoned 5 children to be with Taya, who he met when she was maybe 17, 18 at the most. Ish, depending on they give different timelines of how long they've been married, when they met. But he is 18 years older than her. Hello?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm like down a rabbit hole. Yes.
Okay.
So are you talking about Taya? You're talking about Taya and Sean.
Taya and Sean. He's like 18 years older than her.
Yes. So he was her boss. I mean, they admitted this on the show. This wasn't even stuff they were hiding, which is she was 22. He was 40. He was her boss. When they met. She was 18, but some people think she may have been 17. I think she was 22 when they got married. Oh, okay. Oh, God. So wait, was she one of the students at the school?
No, I think she was I think she was a teacher's aide or something. Anyway, let's just say she's 18, but some people have come out and said, I don't think so. She may have been 17 because, it's a timeline that's hard to follow. But he was working at a school. I don't even think he was a teacher. I think he was a teacher's aide. Yeah, he was a teacher's aide. I don't know what she was doing there, but she said that he was her supervisor. She was very young. He's 18 years older than her. So, he's like 36. Anyway, he has 5 kids. She knew that he had 5 children when they got together. And he got fired from his job for inappropriate conduct, allegedly inappropriate conduct with a 13-year-old. Okay, the source of all of this is the internet. Okay, so everybody just take this all with a grain of salt. But it's multiple people are saying this, and it's multiple things. And he abandoned his family so that he and Taya could move to Portland to be with Tyler and Alicia. Yeah, I don't think that either Sean or Taya have a proper job other than aspiring influencers on TikTok. And Tyler and Alicia, I don't think knew about Sean's 5 kids until after they had moved in. And then you were just reading something about how, let's not forget that Tyler and Alicia allowed these 2 people who are strangers, basically. Yeah, here, let me find this. Because this I thought was very, very astute, which is, everyone hates Sean, but I agree these 2 are the worst, which is Tyler and Alicia. They allowed 2 non-related individuals to move into their home while they had a 3 and 5-year-old at the time. They allowed a man who lost his job as a teacher's aide for sexual misconduct allegations live with their children. They are supporting these 2 full-grown adults, both of which do not work. They allow their children to be alone with these 2 individuals and be cared for them. Again, they were 3 and 5 at the time. And this person has some other thoughts about, right, like what this dynamic is that, and this has been, everyone clearly sees that Taya and Tyler have the most chemistry. There's something between the 2 of them. And the feeling is, from many people, myself included, is a little bit of like, this is really what Tyler wants. This is much more of Tyler's thing. And because there's a lot more chemistry with Taya, that Alicia just jumped on the Sean thing just to kind of like, be a part of it. And I think also to feel wanted and needed, and also a little bit of like, I'm going to lose Tyler if I don't do this. And then everyone keeps writing about, everyone is really worried about Raina.
really worried about Raina. And some of the things that people are saying, because people were talking about how they had abusive family situations and abusive stepfathers. And the fact that Tyler is setting Raina up to be a liar, he's made a comment. It's like he's making sure that, this is the quote from this person, he's making sure she knows that no one will believe her because he's labeling her as a liar. When Sean said she has a lot of problems with lying, like, pal, I see right through, this person's saying, pal, I see right through you. And that, people are pissed that they're not taking care of, they're not protecting your own children here, because of what your wants and needs are.
Mm-hmm.
And Taya is very, everyone keeps talking about, and you've talked about, like, how manipulative Taya is. And then the other thing that's weird is we saw this, someone screen grabbed that Taya in her phone calls Sean baby daddy. If paternity isn't important, do you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, yet another example. They're obsessed with paternity, but they tell everyone that the paternity doesn't matter to them throughout every episode. And it drives me nuts because, so much so that Sean is so mad at Tyler for Tyler, basically because of this blood type thing, which we don't even know. Can a nurse or a doctor or someone tell us? Like, because here's the big thing. The baby, the new baby has O negative blood. And when Sean saw that, he said, well, I'm B and Taya's B. So there's no way we could have an O negative child. He Googled it. Okay. But if a doctor out there could confirm that would be helpful.
Yeah.
And Sean is so pissed off. He is so pissed off that Tyler, quote unquote, inadvertently put this information out there, I guess not thinking anyone would put two and two together, but Sean sure did.
Well, yeah, but this is what bothers me about this, and maybe I'm alone in this. Sean didn't have to Google it. Sean didn't have to Google it. See, this is the other thing too.
Yeah.
Hold on. Yeah. It's a little bit like he didn't tell you the paternity. He gave you information that could lead you to maybe figuring out the paternity. It was on you, Sean. You took it and you decided to look into it. It's very different. It's a little bit like, ooh, made a mistake. You took these extra steps. I'm sorry. I put this on Sean, not Tyler. Tyler's just thinking about his night with Taya. Like, Tyler is not anywhere focusing on any of this stuff. He did not, I truly don't believe this man.
No, he didn't do it on purpose.
He didn't do this on purpose. But Sean, he takes no ownership of the fact that, like, yeah, I could have just left this alone, but I then had to look at it, and now I'm making it a big issue. Ugh,
yeah,
I hate him.
Well, and okay, so they started out the season, again, this is only episode 3, but we've also heard a million times now that Sean and Tyler don't really get along. They're really not in a good place right now. This is really an issue in the family. But then we also find out this episode that Sean and Tyler have had some really bad arguments. And one time, Tyler and Alicia left from a family vacation because Sean and Tyler got into a really bad fight. And Sean's rage is really amping up. Like, every episode, it amps up more and more. He is angry. And he kind of scares me because
he's very scary.
He's scary. He's like this big guy. He never really smiles. He always seems mad. He gets triggered really quickly and often about these things. And he just doesn't seem like a nice guy at all.
He's awful.
And even Alicia doesn't really like him. She's kind of scared of him. She has a conversation with Taya where she's crying and talking about how she's afraid to bring things up with him. And she's afraid of how he's going to react. And so she just doesn't say anything. And, she doesn't want to make trouble. And she's just trying to, like, get along with everybody. And it's like, wow, this sounds fun.
Yeah. Yeah. This great marriage, all of this stuff. I mean, good times. Yeah. I thought, go back to swinging. You're in and you're out, literally, figuratively, in and out, and then you don't have to hang out with these people anymore.
Exactly.
Why do you have to merge your families?
No, you don't have to. You can just get together on, have date nights, get a babysitter and go out and
get your freak on.
Home.
I don't care what you do. Just don't involve your children.
No, instead your children have to live amongst all of this tension. And and they have huge, huge problems with co-parenting. Like that's, they cannot co-parent.
It feels, this whole thing feels so impulsive. It feels so impulsive. And it really does feel cooked up by Taya and Tyler. Because I think Taya convinced Tyler of this. And I think Taya's like, we could be together all the time. We could be every night and we can just, isn't this great? And I think that Taya, so that was Tyler's motivation. I think Taya was like, and then I can get exactly what it is that I want, which is what she has right now, which is a TV show, right? Because she's the one influencer, a poly influencer. Taya just likes messy. Taya is going to go wherever things are weird and messy and where she can be wanted and needed and desired and the center of it. Whatever that's going to look like.
She is the center. She is the center of this family. Whatever she wants, she gets. Everything is for Taya's benefit. It's really sad to see. I'm starting to feel really badly for Alicia. Because she's got the worst of any of this. So anyway, they start out by so Taya and Alicia are going to a baby yoga class. And
well, they're in the kitchen first. Well,
before they go, this was really strange because Taya says, they're kind of making small talk before they go. Taya says, my milk came in, and she like kind of flashes her shirt up. And I'm like, what is under her shirt? What is that? I kept trying to pause it to see what it was. What was she flashing?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't even notice
what was under there.
I don't know. Maybe milk coming out.
Nursing bra? I don't know.
So I have to talk about this timeline because I'm very, very, very confused about this timeline. So she says, my milk came in. And I'm like, okay, so doesn't your milk come in? I'm like trying to remember back to like having Max like
a couple days
later. And then in the same conversation, we hear, have you talked to, Taya hasn't talked to Sean or Tyler about any of this. You're with them all the fucking time. Like, how did you not have time to talk to them about, like, this is weird. Like, oh no, I haven't talked to them about it. It's like, but I thought you were all supposed to be communicating. So instead you decide, okay, fine, not to communicate. And then Alicia says, oh, I failed at being able to breastfeed. And I'm thinking, what?
Taya says that?
No. Alicia says, oh, I'm sorry I couldn't help you. I failed at being able to breastfeed. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute. So you just went to it's Quentin's born, another day happens. You propose this idea, you go to the consultant the next day, and then you give up the next day after that. I mean, how many, do you know what I mean? That really means
this is fake.
So that shows that was a fake storyline or something because you said it was going to take 4 to 5 months for something maybe to happen. Why would you give up after one day?
This is so all weird. Fake. It's all fake. It's all these people trying to look like they're so, I don't know, so wonderful, so enlightened. Oh, look what I'm going to do for you. We're so close that I'm willing to like relactate myself so I can feed the baby. I mean, it's just
meet with a consultant, bust out with the pump, have everyone watch,
have everyone massage your boobs,
and then abandon it the next day. Oh, her milk came in. Great. It's like, oh dear God.
This is so dumb. This baby yoga class is so dumb. Now, did you notice in the when they're in the car, both Taya and Alicia are sporting these caterpillar eyelashes?
Yes, I do want to talk about that. They are, and people online have talked about this too. It's awful. And it's worse on Alicia because she's blonde.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm if I could do beautiful fake lashes for myself every day and put them on myself, I would do it. But these aren't. These are bad. They look like a black caterpillar stuck to the top of your eyelid. I mean, what the
F is going on
And
here?
It looks like they've both been there for days and days and days. It looks like they're just clumping on more mascara. You know what I mean? It's got that clump look, like when if you've like not taken your makeup off and then you try to put on more mascara and it starts to get that clumpy look. That's how it looks all the time. And I think that's not good for your eyes. I think you're supposed to be like taking those things off and putting them back on every day. Do you know what I mean? Like fake eyelashes. You can't really sleep in them day after day after day, can you?
Well, it depends on if they're extensions or they're the fake eyelashes.
No, these look fake. If these are extensions, this is the worst extension job I've ever seen.
They're cheap fake eyelashes. Yeah, you should take them on and off. I don't know. I've never used fake eyelashes in my life. I have no idea.
Oh, well, aren't you superior, Brooke?
Well, it's not that I'm superior. It's just that I'm just cheap. And I have sensitive eyes.
Yeah, I'm more vain. I'm more vain than you. But hold on, can we go back to something here that they were talking about, which is Taya's talking about how she doesn't know, she has to figure out how to handle Sean and Tyler, because she was talking about how they have very different reactions when dealing with emotions. Mm-hmm. And then this is one thing where she feels like if I go to Sean, it will make him upset and hurt if she defends Tyler in any way, shape, or form. Mm-hmm. But see,
that's so dysfunctional.
It is very dysfunctional, because the thing is that, so you're saying to me that you cannot disagree with Sean. You cannot say, hey, this is my perception. Like, I mean, because if I was Taya and I was there and I watched Tyler, what he was doing, and I've been in this situation in our own family, and I've had to say to the other person, you know, I was there, I witnessed this, I see this. Do you believe that I'm a reasonable person or not? And I'm telling you, he was not malicious. Mm-hmm. And it's like, why can't Taya say that to Sean? And it's a little bit like, is Sean so controlling and so mean that you can't say that to him? Or is this a little bit of this dynamic of always kind of like, I wonder if she dangles, like it's almost like she needs Sean to dangle in front of Tyler to make Tyler want her or to control. I don't know.
I think Sean's just mean. I think she's afraid of him. You know, she cannot, like you said, she can't, if she tries to defend Tyler in any way, shape, or form, that's like, you know, stabbing Sean in the back or something. Mm-hmm. Sean is the worst. He's just,
I hate him.
He's terrible. So, okay. So then then Tyler meets up with his sister, Kelsey. And, you know, they're talking a lot about paternity and parental rights. And she's very concerned that, you know, he doesn't have parental rights, even though supposedly none of this matters to them. And obviously Tyler is thinking about this and is upset about it. And he says, if we split up, these are my kids no matter what. And I just wrote down, what? What do you mean they're your kids no matter what? Like, you just expressed this fear because you're not on the birth certificate. These people don't know what to think. Mm-hmm. They're so all over the place. They're so confused. And you know, and this carries on throughout the rest of this episode, and it bleeds into next week when they all go talk to a lawyer.
I was like, finally, something's happening here in the right direction, these numbnuts.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know if Tyler is just really naive and maybe he's just starting to come to the party with, you know, the help of his sister pointing this stuff out to him, you know, because this whole kumbaya, we're all just this family and it doesn't matter. And it's like, but you guys don't even get along. You guys don't even like each other.
Yeah.
Like the only people who like each other are Taya and Tyler and Tyler and Alicia. And that's it. Mm-hmm. And so no, you are all not going to be together forever.
No. Well, and then Tyler says, I'm not a very confrontational person. I'm just kind of hoping it will go away. So that tells you a lot about who Tyler is and how, you know, and that's when I kind of come back to Alicia, where it's a little bit of like, Alicia, get it together. Like, don't you see this? This man he's not confrontational. He's not willing to do anything. This other man is a narcissistic bully. This is your life, and then you're exposing your children to this. It's just, you kind of just want to shake her. But I think we missed a chunk of thing where we have there's a whole conversation between Sean and Taya, where he says, does he say this to Taya or he says it on the couch, where he says he sees Tyler sending the blood type as a dick move. We all should have talked about it. And, the thing is that, so Taya then says, so you're upset with Tyler? Well, yeah, no shit, Taya.
He just said that.
And then Sean says, I don't know how you wouldn't be irritated if the roles were reversed. And then they go into this whole thing about how they got into this fight and the kids ran off. And the thing about Sean that drives me crazy is Sean then gets in this whole thing of like, well, they just left with their kids and then we wouldn't have any rights to these children at all. And it's a little bit like, why do you care so much about these ones? Yeah, or any of them. Because I guess apparently when they had this fight, Tyler and Alicia left, and I think they probably made threats like, goodbye, you're never seeing us again.
That comes up later in the episode.
Oh, okay. I'm so confused about all this, but yes. So
yeah, later in the episode when Sean is talking about it, he says, I could potentially lose 3 of these children because he knows for sure.
Yeah, now 3 of them.
Yeah.
Again,
they
have had twins,
had
5 twins and like 3 other stepkids and all this other kind of stuff. But when Taya and Alicia are driving to the baby yoga, which was a weird class, they're talking about this. And all I could think was, how much work should a relationship be?
Yeah.
How much work should a relationship be? All this talk about how much work they're constantly putting into it. And I just think about my life and my marriage. We're not spending hours upon hours of work every day to like have a conversation, to get anything done, right? Like there's something to be said that relationships work when they are easy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're always having to work on your relationship, like a la Cody and Christine, then there's a problem.
And work. And I love all this. What's this mean to be work? Work means like learning to communicate, not taking what happens to you at the office and putting it on your partner. Being mindful of things like that's what when people talk about work. But all of what these people are really, when they talk about work, it's like we're working to actually like each other.
Yeah, and
that's
just get along day by day.
Yes,
yeah,
that's different than I'm sorry, I was mad at my boss, but I took it out on you. Anyway, sorry, these are all my notes, and I just scribble things. I'm like, God damn
it. These people are really aggravating.
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone is going to go on a little road trip to Portland because it's Taya's 29th birthday, and again, Tyler says, this isn't really the best time to go on a trip with Sean, but we can't get into it now because it's Taya's birthday.
Psych Legal Pop will be back after these messages.
So they're going to see Taya's mother, Jill, and then her grandparents, and then she has a brother, James, and then a best friend, Will, who's also there.
Mm-hmm.
So they drive up there and it's really chaotic, of course, trying to get everybody wrangled in the car. The 2-year-olds are screaming, they're trying to pack the car, and that car is packed, like 9 people and all this luggage and whatever, but they're doing it. And so
Taya's birthday.
It's Taya's birthday. They get to her mom's house and she's got the place decorated and says happy birthday and everybody's there. And Taya's obviously like, again, like Taya's got this big loving family. She gets a lot of attention. She needs a lot of attention.
Yes, she does.
And because she was talking about how she didn't even want to go. And then she's like, oh, I'm so happy to be going. I was like, okay. And Sean and Taya apparently lived their whole lives in Portland until 2 years ago. Or no, not 2 years ago. I don't know how long ago it was. However long ago it was that they moved 2 hours away to live with Tyler and Alicia.
Mm-hmm.
And then this I thought was strange. Sean made this big deal about giving Taya her birthday gift. And he's like, he says to one of the kids, he's like, and they're not even opening presents. He just decides, oh, we're going to give Taya this gift. And he gets one of the kids to help him bring out this big basket of stuff. And I don't know, all I saw was like an ugly sweatshirt and a candle and some cookies or something. And he acted like this was the best gift,
Oh, please.
Like he was doing so much.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is a lot for him. It is. It is a lot for him. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, but I do have a quick thing, which is, I think I've figured out the paternity of the two-year-olds. So I think, Alicia, from my understanding, right? Alicia had Carver. I believe that Carver is Sean's child and Taya had Barrett. And I think that's Tyler's. Just my 2 cents.
He has sort of like a dark mullet kind of like hair.
Yeah. And that's the one that he has with Taya. And then the other kid, Carver, does look like Sean.
Well, I don't know. Genetics are a weird thing. And also, I feel badly for these kids that we're talking so much about their genetics and their DNA. You know what I mean? Like they've become it's starting to get kind of gross. The paternity talk,
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, again, they shoved this in our face and they made us do this. The reality is that I've had clients, I've had clients that I remember. I had this one client who was adopted and he found his birth mother and he was telling me all about it. And he gave me his phone. This was in person. He gave me his phone and he's showing me a picture of her. And the first thing I did was I looked at the picture and I looked at him. And he said, everybody does that. And I said, you guys do really look alike. There is something about that. Like you see yourself in that person. I think it's a very natural reaction or wanting to understand or to see where we come from. I think that's normal. And I think that by not being more cautious, like by not talking about this, it's become a bigger deal. Like, I wonder what would have happened if they just explained to the kids, this is your bio dad and this is your extra dad. Why can't it be that? Anyway.
Well, these kids are 2. Like they don't even, you know what I mean? Like,
no, I'm not saying the kids would understand this, but I'm just saying that why can't these adults stop and really think through a little bit that the reality is that people want to know, like people are always going to wonder. They're going to look in someone's face. They're going to look like that's just human nature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. But all I know is these people are not going to handle it well when these kids get older, if they're even still together, which there's a high likelihood that they won't be. And then they'll be forced to find out the paternity because they're going to have to go to family court and, figure out what's what.
But you know what, Brooke? Even when they're on vacation, they switch nights.
Oh,
this never ends. It can never, ever,
well,
ever end.
I started to question because, Alicia's talking about how Tyler is her person and Sean is not.
Yes.
And I'm starting to think, do they even have sex? Did Alicia and Sean even have sex? I
think they did to have Carver.
No, maybe that once. But I just feel like, and I wonder too, if Taya even wants to have sex with Sean or if she just waits for Tyler. I don't know, because this is so clearly, there's such clear favorites here.
Yeah.
That, I don't think Taya has to be doing it like every night. I don't know.
I don't know. And here's my other question too. Taya was in the hospital. What happens then? Do you know what I mean? And also like Taya's in the hospital one night and then, so does someone have to just forego their night? Like what happens if someone takes a business trip? Here's my question. Like,
I think you just forfeit that night.
I guess so. I guess none of these people are taking business trips, but all right.
Yeah, they don't have businesses. Okay, so this was so weird. Okay, so they're for Taya's birthday, they're going on a yacht tub.
Yes. Oh God, those 4 in the yacht tub was a cesspool of disgustingness.
Yeah. It was because it's not that much water. It's not very big. I don't know if there's chlorine in there. They're spraying champagne.
Mm-hmm. And Sean is just, I'm not here to fat shame anybody because I'm fat, but like, he was just kind of big with the tattoos. And he's got this tattoo that says absolutely above one of his nipples. It's like, what do you think that?
What?
Yeah, absolutely what? Like absolutely disgusting, or like absolutely you will do what I say you will do?
I think that's...
And I bet you anything with his little students, he was like pointing to it. Absolutely.
Well, and one of the things that I saw online in the gossip mill, the rumor mill, was that Sean allegedly had the names of his first five kids tattooed on his arm, and that he recently got it covered up. He got to put big lion. He covered it up with a big lion.
That is so gross. Like, you have what? Huh? How can you sit around and talk about how you're father of the year, or that you're, such a great parent because you're grounding poor Raina to sit in a basement by herself? How can you say that and then abandon 5 kids? And then I come back to, how did they not get that all of this was going to come out?
Yeah. Yeah. He just acts like they don't exist. Like it never happened.
He erased them. He did. He erased them.
He did. But yeah, this was gross. They were talking about naked hot tub nights.
Ugh.
They said they've all seen each other naked. And I was going to look this up. I don't know, what lake is this? They're the only people on this lake, and it's like an urban lake. It's in Portland.
Well, I've been to Portland a few times, and there are a lot of bridges and on water. I don't know.
Maybe whatever.
But it was just the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, just all. It was just. I think it was mainly Sean that was turning me off.
He's gross.
But then we see Sean kiss Taya. And then, of course, Tyler has to kiss Taya. And then Alicia pretends she's going to kiss Taya, but she doesn't. And this whole thing is, did they have a relation? I get the sense that.
I thought they said they hooked up once or twice. Yeah. But that essentially Alicia is straight.
Yeah.
They flirt with each other, but Alicia's straight.
I think what happened was that one of these naked hot tub nights, and they were drinking, and I think they probably kissed.
Yeah. I don't think it was a lot. And this is where Taya tells us that she's missing a connection with a woman, and she wants to explore that. And it's like, well, whatever Taya wants, Taya gets.
Yeah. Well, what woman are we talking about? It's not going to be Alicia. So,
well, she shows up at the end. They have the scenes from next week. She's talking to some woman on the phone.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So now, after Taya's birthday, Tyler and Sean have to talk.
Yes.
So they meet at some restaurant for lunch, and Sean says he doesn't really know why he's there.
No, fuck you.
And it's like, you're the one who's making such a big deal. Yes, exactly. You're the one who's so mad that now Tyler feels like he has to talk to you and clear the air and apologize or whatever. And Sean is saying he's, once they sit down, this is the most awkward lunch ever, They sit down, and Sean just starts in about how he's hurt, he's angry, and that Tyler needs to think before, he acts. And he's like, what were you thinking sending that text? Like, what the fuck is your problem? I mean, he just starts in on him.
And again, is there any ownership of the fact that you then looked it up? You looked it up. Like, he was not the entire time. Sean does not think that he is at fault in any of this. Sean sees does not have one role in this. And this is the part that pisses me off.
Yeah.
And Tyler's passive, but he's also not so passive that he's going to back down. And he says to him, he's like, dude, you don't need to parent me. Stop talking to me like I'm a child. And Sean's like, well, maybe if I was parenting you, this wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, that was so mean and rude.
That was mean. And then he's like, you took something away from me. Like, no, Sean, no, you took it away from you. I'm sorry. You took it away from you. You could have just moved right along. You could have just erased that text and just moved right along.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Tyler brings up the thing about Raina again, and this co-parenting, and how it was unreasonable for him to, not let him talk to Raina. And then Sean again says that he feels like he has to parent Tyler. And I just thought, why? Because you're such a good parent, Sean?
Yeah. You just abandoned 5 kids.
You have to parent everyone because you're such a good example. I mean, first of all, getting grounded means you can't go out with your friends. You can't, talk on the phone. Well, talk on the phone. In my day, it meant you couldn't talk on the phone. I was only grounded like once in my life, and it was like terrible. So I made sure to never get grounded again. But yeah, you can't talk on the phone. You have to come straight home after school. You can't go out with your friends. It doesn't mean you can't talk to your family.
Yes.
It doesn't mean you have to stay in the basement.
Yes.
For a week or however long it lasts. And you can only come up to get a snack, and then you have to go back down.
Immediately go back down.
I mean, that's mean. Is that how he treated his children that he abandoned?
Maybe.
Is that's parenting to him? Like, that's sick. That's scary. That's a bad parent. That's a scary narcissist parent.
And that's what everybody online is talking about. It's like, we got to save Raina, because this guy is already creating a story. He's creating it for Taya. He's creating it for Alicia. He's creating it for all of them, which is Raina lies a lot. Raina shouldn't be trusted. And apparently I just saw another rumor on Reddit that apparently Sean reached out to some 13-year-old on TLC, like someone who DM'd someone on the TLC site or something like that. Like, it seems like maybe he's still doing this. This isn't something that he was doing 4 years ago. It seems like this is an active thing that's happening now. But this is what really pissed me off, was like, Sean goes into this whole thing about how I have all these fears of not being biologically attached, and it's scary, and blah, 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 blah. He's like just stomping around. And Tyler, actually, I have to give him a little credit here. He reaches out to Sean, not physically, but like, he gives him a bid, which is, he basically says, well, we should work on our relationship. Like, basically acknowledging that there's some tension between us and we need to work on this. And Sean just shuts him down. And he's like, our relationship is never going to come first. And it's like, that's not what Tyler was saying. Tyler was reaching out to you, Sean, he is trying to make this easier for you. And it's almost a little bit like Sean just wants to punish Tyler because he is the more desirable one in this group. Because nobody wants to fuck you, Sean. They all want to fuck you. I'm sorry. But that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Because I do, again, Tyler's got his issues. I am not saying that he is perfect in any of this, but he was trying to come to some kind of solution of how do we make this better for us all. And Sean's just a little bit like, no, our relationship's never going to be good, and it's never going to be the priority. And it's like, okay, that's really, what a polyfamily.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, what are we going to do? Go see plays together on the weekend? I mean, he's just being a dick. Yeah, it's like he's giving Tyler nowhere to go. It's like dead end. And you're going to live together as a poly family.
Yeah.
Like, that's not going to work. You're going to have to give up your TikTok. You're going to have to give up your show because you are not a part of a poly family.
No.
At all. I mean, what are you doing? And here's the thing. I think that the bottom line is Sean is really just, he's scared. Because he knows that. So he says that he's scared about his legal rights because Tyler has previously threatened to take the kids away.
I can believe that.
Yeah, threatened to break up. And he says he doesn't feel like he has any power. And he says that 3 or more kids could be taken away from him. So, okay. So you would think that would make you try harder to make this all work so that they don't just take their 3 kids, biological kids, and maybe more, and walk away.
Because
why is he doing this?
Yeah, because that's the other part of it too is, and we've seen this, we see this all the time with people who have stepkids and all this, where, you're creating a situation now, Sean, where if you all broke up, these people are going to get as far away from you as possible.
Yeah, you'll never see them again.
You will never see them again. And the thing is that if you were reasonable and nice, and again, I think Sean shouldn't be around your children, period. But, you are blowing whatever opportunity you have for creating a nice environment that even if you did break up, that Tyler and Alicia would say, hey, even though we're not together anymore, we want you to be able to see the kids. Like, you're creating this, you're doing this.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, he's forced to be together with Tyler, and at least till all the kids, for the next 18 years or whatever. So you'd think he would try a little bit to be a little bit nicer to him, but no. And you could tell that Tyler's also getting worried about being attached to this person because he's so mean and unpredictable. And he keeps saying that, well, ultimately biology trumps everything, right? And so like we said, thank goodness they're going to go to a lawyer next week, and a lawyer can tell them, hopefully give them some advice that they might take. I don't know if they'll take it because they have this idea of, I guess they would have to give up their whole idea of biology doesn't matter if they're going to try to sort through this.
Well, it is very interesting that they decided to have these children. They come up with this whole thing of biology doesn't matter. And not one of them bothers to look up what the law is in the state of Oregon of which one do we go by? If this person's name is on the birth certificate and then you find out the DNA is different, what happens then? Does that give this person more legal rights? I mean, it seems kind of basic that you're going to maybe consult with an attorney or something. But they just jump into shit.
The very first episode, Tyler made a comment. I think it was Tyler, when they're explaining their family and how, what the status of all this is. I think it was Tyler who said, we're going to have to figure out some legal way to all be connected to each other because right now they're not. It's like, well, maybe, like you said, maybe you should have thought of that before. Maybe you should have investigated that before. And then they brought up something about third-party adoption. So what? You're going to have someone like Sean's going to adopt Quentin but he's already on the birth certificate. I mean, they're just throwing shit out there. Like, okay, well, what do we do? Because in 3 episodes, they have completely just destroyed their whole philosophy.
Yeah. Well, and in 3 episodes, what we've learned is from Alicia saying how great it is to go shopping with Sean to I'm scared of him and I don't talk to him.
I can't talk to him.
Right. To being like, we're such this wonderful family to 2 of the major people in this quad hate each other. I mean, it's just like, and this is 3 42-minute episodes.
Yes. It's going downhill fast, real fast.
It's falling apart.
My God, this is it's like a train wreck. I mean, this is like a train wreck.
I can't stop watching it. It's just like, oh God, what's going to happen next?
Yeah. Well, next week they show Taya talking to her friend, Lex.
Yes.
So I guess that's going to be her new love interest. That'll go over well. Yeah, and can't wait to see what this lawyer says. I mean, I think she's going to give them some cold, hard truths, and they're going to be like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Because they're going to have to go to court.
Yeah.
They're going to have to get involved. They're going to have to do something.
Yeah.
For anyone to feel secure about anything.
Well, and that's the problem. That's the problem is, again, if we go back to Sister Wives, right? The people who felt, when it doesn't matter, marriage, any of that stuff, that cannot make you feel secure. What's going to make you feel secure is how that other person makes you feel and how it is. And obviously, you all don't feel comfortable, or Sean doesn't really feel comfortable. You know what I mean? It's like, that's the problem. It's you people.
I think the only person who feels comfortable is Taya.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody else is, again, everyone else is doing everything they're doing simply so that Taya can be happy.
Yeah.
She's really quite something.
And I think that we see these little clips of, I think maybe I saw this on their channel where, she'll go see Tyler at work and, Tyler will kiss Alicia and then he'll walk around to the other side and kiss Taya. And it's like, talking about maybe the shock looks at his construction job and all that. It's like, this is what Taya wants. Like this, attention. Taya loves it when people are paying attention to her. She loves it. And this is the part about their channel that I don't get is I was just trying to watch a few videos and I wanted to pull my hair out. I don't understand people that are watching this so diligently because what content are you giving me? Basically, this is how I get ready for 3 kids in the morning. this is what a polyfamily looks like when they put kids to bed. It's like,
yeah, it's stupid.
It's stupid. It's all the same stuff that other people do. You just have more people, more
It's really, it's a terrible TikTok channel. And the only reason they have any fault, yeah, we'll keep watching it. That won't stop us. But yeah, the only reason they have, last time I looked, they had like 206,000. They probably have a few more now, but people aren't going to, it's boring. It's, but, and, again, all the stuff that's coming out on Reddit and the internet, it's all alleged, but there's just too many people.
Yeah.
There's
a lot of people that knew these people
saying this, and it just tracks, it tracks with what we're seeing on the television.
Well, and also I'm not seeing anyone come out and defend any of them. If there are people out there defending them, tell me. But everything that I'm seeing has been exactly what we're seeing. Exactly. Everybody's clocked the fact that Taya and Tyler are more together. Everyone's clocked all this stuff.
Well, and the stuff with the children is particularly upsetting, because to just deny that you have 5 children when,
oh yeah,
I mean, that's just how do you walk that back?
Well, and the multiple wives, and I mean, I'm sorry, you were dismissed for sexual. Yeah. I mean, and I also want to say too, what we just last week we just did Lucky Boy. Again, that was in the 80s. It was a very different time, but like what it took to get that woman out of teaching after abusing a child, it's a little bit like, yeah, Sean, how long were you teaching before they figured out that you
got you? Yeah. Yeah.
And the fact that Alicia and Tyler, that wasn't enough for them to never let that man in their home.
Yeah. All right. Well,
good times
for next week.
Woohoo!
Oh, the show gets me so worked up, but
yes.
We love it in a bad way. Okay. So thank you everyone for joining us. If you enjoy our podcast, if you don't already know, we also cover Sister Wives. You might enjoy listening to those episodes as well. We're currently covering season 19. And we also have a whole backlog of old episodes, and even going back to the beginning of Sister Wives that we have recapped. So you can find that in wherever you find these podcasts. And if you like our podcast, please subscribe. Please leave us a review. That would really help us out. And if you really like our podcast, we also have a Patreon where you can get even more content. You get all of the free shows ad-free. You get a weekly bonus episode where we talk about our lives. We talk about all kinds of different topics. That's the one tier. And then on the other tier, you get all of that. Plus you get a monthly bonus true crime episode and a monthly bonus Ask Us Anything episode.
Yes.
And we're on all the social medias at Psych Legal Pop Podcast. And
I think that's
Psych Legal Pop Podcast, right?
Or Psych Legal Pop. You'll find us that there isn't another one.
No, Psych Legal Pop. I can't remember if there's a podcast on the end or not. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to be back with you soon.
Yes.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.